Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to the empowered harmonizers. And we are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question. And that was really, why is it so hard for me to leave this covert narcissist, this emotionally manipulative person? Whether they're covert narcissist or psychopathic, borderline, you find that you just can't rip yourself away from someone who is destructive, condescending, critical, belittling in nature, manipulative in nature. You're always going back and forth. And why is it so difficult to leave something that is just not right for you? And that is because of the impact of how emotions tend to color and filter what it is that you see. Your emotions tend to lead to something what is called attribution bias, which means basically it keeps you explaining and justifying the reasons why you should stay with this person. In other words, all the love that you had initially felt from the love bombing stage, all that you had told yourself, all that you had discussed in the beginning. Maybe it was a new lover. Maybe it was someone you've been with for a long time. Maybe it was a parent and child relationship where this took place, and it's so difficult for you to tear away, either even from a family member, a parent, a sibling, a grandparent, a niece, a nephew, or a boss, or maybe it was just even your spouse. Why is it so difficult to leave and let go of a situation this is obviously not a good fit for you, not right? This person is mean, condescending, emotionally manipulative. It is because the emotions tend to color and filter what it is that we see and attribute to this person. So the original engulfing feelings, oh my God, this person is my woman, in my knight in shining armor, or my maiden in shining armor, or this is my parent, this is my role model, this is my mentor, I should always love this person no matter what. You know, blood is thicker than water. All those sort of emotional sentiments that are really, you know, in you in a very foundational and sedimentary way, which is kind of like holding in within you like brick and mortar in the very foundation of your being. It tends to lead to what is known as attribution bias, or you just keep explaining, well, they must love me, they would never do this to me. They must love me, they would never do that. This is my mother, why would they ever do that? This is my boss, why would they ever do that? We had such good love, why would they ever do that? So you unconsciously tend to play this emotion, which then leads to your behavior. So if you understand that the emotion precipitates the behavior, and really it becomes automatic, because the body wants to, and the mind wants to perpetuate a pattern again and again. It has a neural network. It's kind of like your driveway. I mean, that's how you drive. This is how we go. This is the way out. And so your body's like, let's do this again and again and again, especially if it was something pleasurable. The body wants to be in a pleasurable state and not in a pain state. So it would be very painful for you to say, oh my gosh, this person did manipulate me, or did cheat on me, or was a pathological liar, or does not want my success. It's hard to see that. It's hard to own that. It's hard to know that, because there's so much gunk that's keeping you from seeing the truth, because it hurts. And it's hard to look objectively when you're in a relationship with a manipulative person. Perhaps there was this fear where I can't live without them. So no matter what, you would sacrifice to keep them happy or satisfied or in your life. So part of you intrinsically had ascertained or decided your life cannot go on without them. I'm always going to have this thorn. So as we're saying before, again and again, it's like the grain of sand in the pearl. It's the irritant which causes that malice to generate all that pearlescent, balm over it to smooth off the edges, and then created that pearl. So it's like all those are like the defense mechanisms that become part of your personality, keeping you stuck, around this irritant, around this thorn. And it's the assertion or decision or subconscious decision making that my life intrinsically cannot exist outside of this person, no matter who created that self-limiting belief. That is like the one thorn. It's like seeing the thorn for the rose bush. It's like you're stuck on this one thorn. You're not seeing the rose. You're not seeing that which is you, which is meant to bloom and proliferate and smell good and be happy and joyous, whatever you want to describe on the blooming of a flower or a lotus or a big tree growing to be its big, strong self. It's kind of like getting caught in the one thorn. It's like not seeing the rose for the thorn. You're not able to, you have to realize that it was just, this experience was like a thorn. I mean, you have, the truth sometimes is like a thorn. It's a little bit of a hurt. It gets under the skin. It hurts, but then you get it out, and then you realize what has been beckoning for your attention all this time. So the more you try to run away, the harder the pull. In other words, you might try and try and try, but eventually you've got this anchor coming back where you're stuck, and it's working through those decisions or feelings that you perhaps had explained some things away about them, made excuses for them to keep them there on the attribution bias and say, whoa, maybe I gave them too much emotionally. Maybe I gave them too many positive qualities that I should have held for myself. Like, I should hold myself in a good light. Why did I take the light off myself in order to put it on them? Why was I stuck in that dynamic? Because maybe your survival was based on it for that period of time. You wanted it to be true. You felt it to be true. You couldn't quite balance it out for emotional maturity's sake, either on your age or experiential level in relationships. You have to see it for what it is. So let's take a no for a no. Let's just say, okay, no, that person was emotional and manipulative, and that was painful, that was abusive, that was not good for me. And then owning that back and owning that truth back, no matter how much emotion you had laden over the feeling. It's almost like a projection of positivity onto something that was negative. That attribution bias, that love bombing, wanting to recover that state is what leads to the denial, and then being stuck in an abusive relationship for way too long. And then all the momentum and all the rhythm, the pattern that tries to perpetuate the rehearsal of it again and again and again. It's your body wants to perpetuate it, but now it's for you. It's time for you to put the brakes. It's like, okay, I can put, the foot on the brakes because this is actually leading to more pain than pleasure. So to stop this self-abuse or denial is I'm going to put an end to it, because that is actually leading to more pain. And my body actually needs, wants, and desires to exist in balance and pleasure and fulfillment, i.e. the real thing, i.e. the truth. And as I say, the truth will set you free. Well, isn't freedom going to be a little bit more pleasurable than the pain that you've been ruminating and rehearsing? And so it's like, well, peace and harmony, why can't I stop it? It's because you've given permission over to that image again and again. Image me. Again, I say it becomes so big in front of you like a billboard. Like, you can't get your eyes off the billboard. You have to take your eyes off the billboard and see the bigger picture. And furthermore, be able to shrink down that picture within your mind. You have to get an image of that person and really see how big you've made it in your mind, and use your mind to see an image of them, whatever the love bombing is, and just shrink it down to like the size of a postage stamp. I mean, you really need to get your mind involved and your vision involved of what this all represents to you internally, because your internal representation of this person is out of proportion to the positive that it's giving to you in your life right now. If it's causing you grief, despair, ruminations, you can't sleep, you can't eat, You don't know what you value. You don't know your life purpose. You can't be happy just going and doing things. You're stuck. You're constantly worried. You've got the ruminations going. It's because the image that is in your subconscious mind, which is running the show, which is the big boss, and connected to Jesus, your higher power, the God, the infinite source, is you've edged the good out. You've just, ego stands for edging good out. So, your ego is now tied rather than to Jesus, the Savior, the infinite intelligence, that which is good and holy and leading you to positivity and fulfillment, fate, all those good things. We talk about being moved, being inspired, to be educated, to pull the good out of you, in existing in that and saying, hey, okay, that's good. It is because you have this bigger, inflated image or representation of them in your body. Okay? And it's hiding. It's, excuse me. Once it's in there, it's creating a perpetual loop. It's just going on and on and on and on. Whether you're driving, eating, cooking, dressing, working, it's just always there. It's just, so it's for you to say, damn, I'm shrinking this shit down. No way. This is looming way too large. So it's like realizing how big and over important it's become and then shrink it down. Use your mind to get an image of how big it is. Like just seeing it, and then shrink it down. That which was bad. And then furthermore, pull up something of yourself where you were like on top of the world, whatever, like get an image or a memory where everything had really come together for you. You're like, this is really cool. This is who I want to be. This is like penultimate. I love that word. Like, this is penultimate for me. This is the ultimate for me. Whether you were, the lead, singer in a choir, whether you were top of your grade or you had a huge professional coup or something, or you had just made you were just in a solo dance production and you were like, this is, gave you ultimate joy, like ultimate pleasure, whether it was just something that gave you ultimate pleasure, if you get an image of that and then really bring that pleasurable moment into mind and see yourself in that moment, feeling it, smelling it, experiencing it, tasting it, and being that right there, and just see that and how big and important that was, and making that larger, and then wrapping yourself up like a blanket in that positive image of yourself, whatever it was you were doing and being. But it was you. It was like all you, 100% you. You did there. You were that. You got there. You were not doing it to, for any other sort of external motivation, but everything came together for you, and feeling how good that is, and then allowing that to just burst in front of you and be around you and carried within you from here moving forward. That positive feeling, it's like, man, I did that. Dang, that was good. Good job. And that positive feeling, and that maybe tingles in your stomach or where you feel it, if you can feel it in your abdomen, wherever you feel it, you might feel it in your head, that really positive, oh my God, that was so cool. Yes, that was so awesome. Keeping that going. And regardless of who was there, it is that feeling and knowing that is what I'm about. That's what I want more of. And then more pleasure that keeps you going there. So whatever it is, that keep that nugget, keep that kernel of good going, and focus on that, and realize that, that other stuff that was loomed in, that is your ego. You're edging God out. It's time to allow back in that positive that you've always wanted and that you've had and that you want, and then get that critical thinking back in your vision for your future. So you're in your recovery journal, you're doing your recovery date, and you're actually making it happen. Getting, physical and doing it. Whether it's riding horses or scuba diving or painting or going to a monastery or going to a garden or going out to eat something different or going shopping for the new you. You know, you've thrown out so much clutter and crap that you're now re-innovating yourself, and you're surrounding yourself with textures and feelings and colors that make you feel good. You know, the feel good, warm and fuzzy comfort things that really kind of get you back. Getting some of that back and like breaking the pattern and realizing that when that starts to loom up, just scrunch it down, get down, stamp. You know, get down and, you know, shrink it down and like get out of here and just take a staple gun and like just get rid of it into some sort of garbage area within your mind, and realize that yes, the karma police will come and take care of those negative people, those negative things that they said, did, and caused that. Let the karma police take care of that. Let the larger force in life take care of them, and let you take care of you. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.